goods and service tax practitioners. It is considered as a profession as it has some qualification decided by GST department, and it is equivalent to the professions of a tax consultant, and it gives wider opportunity for the person who may be engaged with the return filing procedures or payment of tax in earlier tax regimes. Section 48 of CGST Act, Goods and Service Tax Practitioners. The manner of approval of goods and service tax practitioners, their eligibility conditions, duties and obligations, manner of removal, and other conditions relevant for their functioning shall be such as may be prescribed, and that is to be noted with the CGST rules, and it may be revised on up-to-date manner. A registered person may authorize an approved goods and service tax practitioner to furnish details of outward supplies under Section 37, details of inward supplies under Section 38, and returns under 39, 44 or 45 as in such manner as may be prescribed under the GST statute. And these are the main duties or purpose for which the registered person can authorize GST practitioner. Notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 2, the responsibility for correctness of any particulars furnished in the return or other details filed by GST practitioner shall continue to rest with the registered person on whose behalf such a return and details are furnished. And if the GST practitioner has to file returns and other statement on behalf of the registered person under GST, and the responsibility is vested with the registered supplier under GST, and if any act made by the GST practitioner will be on behalf of the supplier who may be registered under GST, and so if there is any issues relating with the or responsibility relating with the correctness of furnished return or other details by GST practitioner rests with the registered supplier on whose behalf returns or details furnished. Then the details will be discussed with the CGST rules, section 83, provisions relating to GST practitioner. Rule 1. An application in form GST PCT 01 may be made electronically through the common portal, either directly or through facilitation center notified by Commissioner for Enrollment as GST practitioner, and that is the basic qualification, and other conditions relating with the working of GST practitioner may be indicating with the section 83 of CGST rules. And the conditions were, as any person who have the right to act as GST practitioner, and application will be filed on electronic format, and who is a citizen of India, who is a person of sound mind, who is not adjudicated as insolvent, who has not been convicted by a competent court. These are the basic conditions, and along with he has to satisfy any of the following conditions. Suppose A, he is a retired officer of Commercial Tax Department of any state government or of CBIT, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, Department of Revenue, Government of India, who during his service under the government had worked in the post not lower than the Group B Gazetted Officer period not less than 2 years. That is the first condition. A retired commercial tax officer who may be working within a grade of Group B Gazetted Officer not less than 2 years. Then otherwise he is enrolled as a sales tax practitioner or tax return preparer under the existing law for the period of not less than 5 years. Otherwise, the other eligibility, who was enrolled as a sales tax practitioner As relating with in the case of Kerala state, it will be Kerala General Sales Tax or value tax. That will be KGST or KVAT. Or tax return preparer under the existing law for a period of not less than 5 years, having the eligibility to become as a GST practitioner. Then he has passed a graduate or postgraduate degree or its equivalent examination having a degree in commerce banking, including higher auditing or business administration or business management from any Indian university established by any law for the time being in force. As it is the understanding, he has passed a graduate or postgraduate degree in or equivalent examination in commerce, law, banking, and with the respective papers by any Indian university. Then, or a degree of examination of any foreign university recognized by any Indian university as equivalent to the degree stated in the subclause 1, or any other examination notified by Government of India on the recommendation of the GST Council for this purpose. Or he has passed any of the following examination, namely final examination of Institute of Chartered Accounts of India, that is CA exam, CA final exam, or final examination of Institute of Cost Accounts, as it will be CMA or ICAA exams. Or final examination of Institute of Company Secretaries of India, that is CS. And such professional programs final examination were passed, candidates also have the right to become in the status of GST practitioner. And these are the qualification criteria. And on the basis of eligibility condition, the application shall be forwarded with the GST portal with a specific format. On receipt of the application referred to in Subrule 1, the officer authorizes on his behalf make enquiry as he considers necessary, either enroll the applicant as GST practitioner and issue a certificate to that effect, inform GST PCT 02, or reject his application where it is found that applicant is not qualified as to be enrolled as GST practitioner. The next stage, the verification of application will be made by GST department officials, and if it is approved with qualification and other procedural formalities, the GST department have to be approving with such a person to become act as a GST practitioner. The subpoint 3, the enrollment made under subrule 2 shall be valid until it is cancelled. Provided that no person enrolled as GST practitioner shall be eligible to remain enrolled unless he passes such a examination conducted at such periods and by such authority as may be notified by Commissioner on recommendation of Council. As it is indicating that the enrollment shall be valid until it is cancelled, and also have to eligible to remain enrolled unless he passes such examination conducted by such authority. And examination were conducted by National Academy of Customs and Indirect Taxes. Then provided further that no person to whom the provisions of clause B of subclause 1 apply shall be eligible to remain enrolled unless he passes the said examination within a period of 30 months from the appointed date. As relating with the on the basis of subrule 1, clause B shall be eligible to remain enrolled unless he passes the examination within a period of 30 months from the appointed date, and that will be relating with the sales tax practitioners. Then subpoint 4, if any GST practitioner is found guilty of misconduct in connection with any proceedings under the Act, the authorized officer may, after give him a notice, as it will be show cause notice, inform GST PCT 03 for such misconduct, and after giving him reasonable opportunity of being heard, by order from GST PCT 04, direct that he shall henceforth be disqualified under section 48 to function as GST practitioner. If any misconduct or malpractice identified from the part of the GST practitioner, show cause notice will be served by authorized officer, and after hearing the part from the part of the GST practitioner, it will lead to disqualification if it is demands. Then any person against whom an order under sub-rule 4 is made may within 30 days from the date of such commissioner against such order. As with such a disqualification order made by authorized officer, the GST practitioner have the right to approach with the commissioner with an appeal to revise the order, as it will be made within 30 days from such a disqualification order issued by authorized officer of GST. Any registered person may at this option authorize a GST practitioner on common portal, inform GST PCT 05, or at any time withdraw such authorization, inform GST PCT 05, and GST practitioners authorized shall be allowed to undertake such a task as indicated in the said authorization during the period of authorization, as it will be the provision relating with the operations of GST practitioner, and it shall be on the basis of authorization received from the part of the registered supplier under GST, and the GST practitioner shall act on the basis of authorization received from suppliers of goods or services under GST. And who have to undertake task on the basis of authorization received from suppliers or registered person under GST. Where a statement required to be furnished by a registered person has been furnished by GST practitioner authorized by him, a confirmation shall be sought from the registered person over a email or SMS. If the GST practitioner furnishing the statements as it may be furnished or to be furnished by registered person under GST, as it shall be confirmed from the part of registered person through email or SMS one-time passwords, and it is to ensure that the GST practitioner will be conducting acts on behalf of the registered person, and the complete responsibility is vested with the registered person under GST or registered supplier under GST, as the GST practitioner will act on behalf of the registered person or registered supplier under GST. Then a GST practitioner can undertake any or all of the following activities on behalf of a registered person if so authorized by him too. As these are the duties can be or tasks can be performed by a GST practitioner if such provisions approved through authorization letter by the GST registered person or GST registered supplier. Furnish the details of outward and inward supplies. Furnish returns, monthly, quarterly, annual or final return. Then make a deposit for credit into e-cash ledger. File claim for refund. File application for amendment or cancellation of registration under GST. Furnish information for generation of e-way bill for transportation of goods. Furnish details of challan. Inform GST ITC 04. File an application for amendment or cancellation of enrollment under Rule 58. And file an intimation to pay tax under composition scheme or withdraw from the said scheme. And these are the rights or task that may be provided to GST practitioner with authorization from the part of the registered supplier under GST. Then Any registered person opting to furnish his return through a GST practitioner shall give his consent, inform GST PCT 05 to any goods and service tax practitioner to prepare and furnish his return. And it is indicating that a registered person have to provide to GST practitioner for filing the returns and furnish the statements. Before confirming submission of any statement prepared by GST practitioner, GST practitioner ensure that the facts mentioned in the return are true and correct, as it is the responsibility of the registered supplier to verify the return before filing by the GST practitioner, as the correctness should be verified by registered person. The GST practitioner shall prepare the statement with a due diligence and affix his digital signature on the statement prepared by him or electronically verify using his credentials. And GST practitioner shall have to prepare the statement with due diligence and carefulness, and have to affix his digital signature on the statement prepared by him or electronically verify using his credentials. And it also ensure that GST practitioner have also responsibility. The prime responsibility is made with the registered person under GST, but along with the GST practitioner have the responsibility, as it will be in the same format as a chartered accounts are appointed for conducting audit practice or managing the accounts. The company itself have its own responsibility, and chartered accounts have also having some certain category of responsibility, and such same provisions will be applicable with the GST practitioner. A GST practitioner enrolled in any other state or union territory shall be treated as enrolled in state or union territory for the purpose of specified in sub-rule 8, as it will be relating with the GST practitioner who may be enrolled in any other state will be treated as equivalent to the provisions as the person who may be enrolled as with another state. If a person who may be enrolled as GST practitioner in Kerala state, while dealing with any matters under sub-rule 8, who have to manage the GST procedures under Tamil Nadu state, who will be treated as who may be deemed to be registered under Tamil Nadu state as in the form of GST practitioner. And while concerned about the provisions of GST practitioner, it is considered as one of the major profession as it may be on initial stage of growth, and there is higher levels of opportunity as to become a GST practitioner, and there will be examination that may be called for by NSEN, and it is normally conducted in twice in a year, and it may be mainly focusing with CGST and other statutes under GST and rules that may be made under GST. It mainly focuses to ensure the proper filing of returns and managing or administrating the GST system in proper way, and it is to support the registered suppliers under GST. And along with one word to say that GST or upcoming provision, and it have major opportunities as relating with the in today's scenario, as above 40 lakhs turnover have compulsorily to be registered under GST, and also relating with the there will be some provision relating with the suppliers of goods or service may not be highly equipped with the GST system, and if it is maybe interested, it is a great provision, and the main functions will be concerned with the filing of the returns and managing the system or managing the activities of the suppliers under GST, and relating with the tax payment, and also relating with the furnishing the returns or statements in proper time and managing the entire activities of GST. And in the initial step itself, it is a highly paid profession, and it also considered as a great opportunity for coming days also. As relating with the in pan India basis, GST have its own wider impact, and it demands for wider growth of GST practitioners, and it assures a good profession as in the form of financial aspects also. So if you are interested, you can consider the matters of GST and to become a GST practitioner by writing the exams conducted by NSEN, and it shall be made for becoming filing the returns and making statements or on behalf of the registered person.